Hello. Welcome to the DJ Force 10 in Conversation podcast, episode 115. Releasing on this Good Friday, I have for you Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. Yes, that Randy from that band, Lamb of God. They have just released a new single called Memento Mori. We talk about that. They've also got an album due out, a self-titled album due out soon as well, which we do hit upon. But it was a great conversation. Oh my God, I'm like chatting to all these people, and it's fantastic. I'm on a high right now, just from having a good day, even though we're all locked down. Not to remind anyone, but this was recorded a couple of weeks ago, so before it really kind of kicked in. But yeah, I mean, I just sort of really excited about this particular episode. I held it back a little bit, but I'm releasing it today because I want to, and I've got loads more next week as well to look forward to, so I'll give you a sneak preview of that on Monday's show, or if you tune into my radio show on Sunday at 6 p.m. on Total Rock. You can hear that via TotalRock.com. There are various apps that broadcast it as well, including the TuneIn app, which is one of the main radio apps. You can also get it on Apple Music. If you ask Siri nicely, I'm sure she'll play Total Rock for you. But yeah, again, thank you for this past week. All you guys and gals and non-binaries that have been listening to the show. I really do appreciate it. All the bands appreciate it as well. Shattered Skies, Cold Bones, let's see if I can remember this, GFM, Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh. And what was Mondays? What was Mondays indeed? It was Chris from Acid Mammoth. You thought I forgot, but I didn't. Right there for you. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the shows. All the feedback's been good so far. But I'm really looking for some of those ratings just to really push it up, those charts and stuff, so people can discover these bands. So it's episodes like this that can get up there because it is someone as big as Lamb of God are. So if you guys fancy doing that for me, leaving a review, just a rating, whatever you want to do, it takes 2 seconds. That would be absolutely fantastic. I've tried not to sort of like dwell on that, but I really feel it's time to sort of like push the podcast to help these bands out. Obviously I know it helps me out, I've gone through that before, but it's mainly for these bands and the love of music and other art forms that these people represent. But anyway, I'm babbling now. I've got nothing much else to say apart from I hope you guys have a great Easter with all the chocolate and whatnot, if you're able to get any. If you don't celebrate that sort of thing, well, just have a good weekend, really. Try and enjoy it. I know it's difficult right now. But yeah, watch Tiger King, I guess. That's another thing. That seems to be doing the rounds at the moment. I actually lived in Tampa. In case you hadn't heard before, but I lived like basically a mile away from Big Cat Sanctuary. Can you believe that? Anyway, this is Randy from Lamb of God. Enjoy. Thank you for doing this, first and foremost.
Yeah, mate.
It's absolute pleasure speaking to you. I've seen you on stage many times, but never spoke to you. So I was always in the crowd. But yeah, so I say it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. And yeah, thank you for doing this. Yeah, we're gonna talk about your new album that's due out soon, and the single you just released as well. If that's all right, if there's anything else you wanted to cover.
No, that sounds all right to me.
I've got some other bits as well, but we'll get to those as and when it sort of falls to that point bit. But
right. Yeah,
obviously it's a bit weird because normally when I'm interviewing people and whatnot, it's like, you know, you got tours coming up and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, no, there's nothing, nothing at the moment. So
nope.
No, but yeah, let's go with the album. It's self-titled, I believe, is it? It's called Lamb of God. Yep. And your lead single from it is Memento Mori.
Yeah.
which is, if anyone wants to sort of get into the meaning of it, it's like a reminder of death or something, isn't it? Along those lines.
Yes, it's a Latin phrase that, basically translated means, remember one day you will die.
Mm.
So, which sounds really negative, on the outskirts, particularly given the current time.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's quite positive, because it tells you not to. The monks used to say it to each other as they passed each other, Memento Mori, and is be mindful of death. That means make the most of today, because today is the only thing that exists. Yeah, so don't waste it.
No, I mean that's what I took away from the song. It's quite a haunting song to start with, like the intro for it. It's very dark and very, like I say, very haunting. But then it really kicks in with the Lamb of God sound that you guys have just perfected over the years. And it's a hell of a track, and especially as it's the opener for the album as well. It's really kind of set a good expectation for the full album, which I haven't heard yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Right, good,
cool. So, what can the sort of Lamb of God fans and anyone else expect from this album? What's the is there any sort of special guests on it or anything? Or
yeah, sure. On one song, I have my friend Jamie Josta on a song called "Poison Dream" that he did guest vocals on. I've been really good friends with him for years, and the guys in Hatebreed, some of my dearest friends, and both my guitar player Mark Morton and I have both done stuff on Jamie's solo records. And for a while I've been like, I want to get Jamie on a song. And it's about environmental pollution by, chemical factories and so forth, which both Jamie and I have lived in areas where there's been a lot of pollution in the waters. So, I reached out to him and I heard a certain part of the song I wanted him to be on, and he was totally down. So it's just family for us, Yeah. And then there's another song called Roots, Routes, that Chuck Billy from Testament is on.
Oh, nice.
And that was inspired by my trip to Standing Rock, North Dakota during the No Dapple pipeline movement, which was a native-led movement. So it's important for me to have a native voice on that. And Chuck Billy happens to be a gigantic Pomo Indian from California. So he was really down to do that. And, I'm just really pleased he was able to do that. He and his wife were both just diagnosed with the coronavirus.
Yeah,
they were in Europe. Yeah, they were in Europe. I found that out yesterday, and I sent Tiffany a message, just sending her some love and healing vibes. And she sent me back some hugs and kisses emojis. I'm not going to bother them right now,
Yeah.
But I just wanted to let them know that I'm feeling for them and sending good energy their way, So, yeah, man. I mean, I'm really pleased he did a great job on the record. Cool. So did Jamie, and I'm really pleased he was able to. We got this done before this whole fucking pandemic happened.
Yeah.
At least we got a record in the can. And there's it's important, man. Music and art is important. It raises people's spirits.
It does.
And that's what it's done for me my whole life, and for me, it feels really good that we're going to be able to at least release some songs that some people might be able to listen to during this time, and it might help them get through.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. As I've been sort of saying to a few people and like previous sort of people I've spoken to, it's the music and it was the arts that bring people through these times, because I was speaking to one musician, he was feeling really guilty the fact that his album was coming out or has come out now, and with the world the way it is. And he was just like, look, he was like, at the end of it, I don't care if you buy it, just spread the word and whatnot. But he was just kind of like I had to sort of like, put my arm around and say, look, it's the artists that get us through. It's the painters, it's the poets, it's the musicians. Because in in these times, even if it was like wartime or anything like this, that's what brings people through. You bring, people have like songs from like I say, wartime, just sort of like little things they used to sing in the bunkers and whatnot.
Dude, I have talked to countless fans who have seen combat, and they were like, man, I just want to thank you for your music. It helped keep me alive.
Yeah.
That's not why I wrote it, because I've never been to war. I don't know what that's like, and I won't pretend to know what that emotional state is like, because that's just asinine. But it feels really good to have helped someone through a really difficult time, I had fans who, have gone through cancer treatments, and, they didn't know if they were going to live or die. And they're like, man, I listened to your music and it helped me fight. It kept my spirit up during this. And those are like the greatest compliments I can receive as an artist.
Yeah.
Because it means to me, even if it's just one person, what I did, what I created actually made a difference in someone's life, even if for just a minute.
Yeah.
So right now, the art in all forms, are really important.
Yeah.
Because yes, the scientists, and the first responders and the doctors, they're the most important, because they're going to help us figure out and contain this thing, and they're going to physically save human lives. But on the second line of that, these people need emotional relief as well.
Yeah.
And that's what our job is. And right now it's time for us to do our fucking jobs, whatever they may be. And last night, I went out. I'm a photographer as well, so I've been doing a lot of shooting on the empty streets at night when no one's out, to try and document this time. And I met up with a doctor who is in the emergency rooms here last night. And of course we stayed fucking 15 feet apart, but he had to get out and do something in order to maintain his sanity.
Yeah.
Because he's a human being. So I was able to go out with him last night and walk, and we were able to shoot photos and talk a little bit about his feelings. And, that's the little bit that I could do to help this man, That's a little bit that I could do to help this man. And, we all need to do whatever we can in this time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's especially listening to them as well. Like listening to their advice, because a lot of people are still
idiots
going out in their masses and either, doing the stockpiling thing's well documented, but over here in England, a lot of people are going down to the beach for the day, or going down to,
it's here too. Crowding the beaches.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
Yeah. And it's just like, this is not helping, and this will put it in full lockdown if you continue.
It's coming. Full lockdown is coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Prepare.
We've I say we've got a plan. We haven't got a plan, but it's sort of, we've got, enough to sort of keep us, I guess, sane to a certain degree.
Right. That's the whole thing in this situation, is mental fortitude is the most important attribute you can really nurture.
Yeah.
A survival situation is 90% mental, because if you're falling to pieces and freaking out, everything else will fall to pieces and freak out. Yeah. So get your shit wired straight.
No, that's exactly right. Especially when you've got a young family as well. You kind of, you're helping them deal with it as well, because they don't know what's going on. They're quite scared of what's happening, because they're hearing various things. They don't know, what to believe in, what they read or what their friends are saying, or, they're only 10, 12 years old. So, and they're already kind of like, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. If you go outside, you're going to get fined, all that kind of stuff. And, it's just sort of calming them down, talking to them about it, and sort of, they may not understand it fully, but at least you're having the conversation, and they can always kind of refer to it.
That's important. I don't have children right now. I feel for all my friends that do. And, I think the most important thing a parent can do probably right now is display strong leadership within the family,
yes.
and be realistic with the children.
Yeah.
I wish on a international scale, most world leaders would display strong, good parenting, I suppose. Right now is when we need good parenting more than anything, because people are scared.
No, they are. They are. And that's what I see out, when I've gone out, in the past week to get, say supplies, get the shopping done. It is like a supply run though, but it's, but just seeing the look on some people's faces, they are in a panic. And I can see how it escalates, because you see one person panicking, two people are panicking. It's like the actual virus itself. It's almost worse, and it's just kind of it's weird. You can try and reassure people. There was a supermarket here that had people out while I was in there, explaining to the people that they haven't run out of these supplies, or actually the manufacturers haven't run out. It's just people have overbought. And they can't, a supply chain issue. Basically, they can't get the trucks to get the supplies to the stores quick enough.
I think that will calm down once things go into lockdown.
Yeah,
the supply chains hopefully will, get back in order. But it's those people are pieces of shit who went out and bought and hoarded everything.
Yeah, totally.
Well, if you look right now, it's important to pay attention to the people around you and their behavior, because character is displayed most apparently during times of great stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So pay attention. You're going to find out who's the real motherfucker and who's a chump about now.
Yeah. So who's out for themselves and who's out, But I've seen people walk out the supermarkets with trolleys full of, toilet roll and whatnot, and I'm just like, you know what, you're not going to use it, or you will use
twat.
it, but exactly that. But it's certainly is. I mean, it's nothing I've ever gone through before.
None of us have.
So none of us have, and it's just you have to learn and adapt to kind of get to the to survive it, if you will. I mean, I hope it doesn't get that far where it gets to that core survival element, but if people continue the way they are, that it's just going to spread. So and talking to
it is what it is.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, exactly. So I just wanted to take you back a couple of years ago. You did a track with Devil Driver. I actually spoke to Des before he released it, but you did a cover of Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Yes.
For that Outlaw album. I really like that cover. I was I like the album. It was like a really pleasant surprise for me. I wouldn't say I'm a massive sort of country music or outlaw country music fan. But I lived in the States for a good sort of 5-6 years, and it's quite, along with sort of rock music they have there, the country music is huge as well, as you know. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that album, but I really enjoyed the cover, because I do like the Ghost Riders in the Sky track. It's a great tune. It's a great tune, and you guys did a great job with it. So I just wanted to compliment you on that, because it was a fantastic cover.
Thank you very much, man. Quite enjoyed the process. It's cool as shit to be on the track, of course, with my friend Des, but also with Johnny Cash's son, with John Carter Cash. That's wow, pretty fucking cool,
Yeah, no, it was because when I was speaking to it before it came out, and it was kind of like, you did a country album kind of thing, Being from the UK, it's not a massive genre here, but it's like, no, obviously we get the sort of bigger artists come over, the classic country artists, but it was a pleasant surprise, really, because once I heard it, I was like, actually, it's really good, and that track, I really love it. So yeah.
Right on.
Cool. So after this, I mean, it's difficult to say, after this sort of pandemic has passed, what do you sort of, it's a silly question, what do you plan to do, but I suppose touring and
going surfing.
going surfing.
Fuck the band. I'm going surfing.
Yeah.
Fuck the band.
No,
fuck
that's
the
good.
music. I'm going surfing first. That happens first. Fuck everything else.
Yeah.
Because I have to take care of my own mental sanity, and like surfing is how I do that. So, once this is over, once I can get to the beach, I'll surf for a little bit, then I'll go on tour.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair enough. I had the same question posed to me as like my wife was going, "What are we going to do, Stratus?" I said, "I'm going to get out. I'm going to DJ because I DJ on a regular basis. Like I do rock clubs and stuff in the UK, and I love the energy of it. It's like performing for me." Sure. I was in a band for the longest while as well, so I stopped doing that side of things, but having the DJing side of things, it's just another outlet for me. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to DJ. Yeah. She's like, okay. She was like, well, I asked her what she was going to. She's going to, just go out and do whatever. But no, I was like adamant. Like the one thing I can DJ from home, and like I'm going to attempt to do a live stream or something doing it, but I don't know if it's going to be the same energy or not. So. No,
got to have the crowd with you, man. Yeah, for sure. That's, and God bless the bands that are doing the live streaming, though. They're doing their, live performance. Like Code Orange did their set. Their new record is fucking amazing.
It is, yeah.
And they did a live stream, and some other people are doing live streams. I might figure out some sort of way to do something. I don't think there's going to be an acoustic Lamb of God set coming anytime soon, though.
Why not? I can't wait to hear Redneck Acoustic.
Yeah, because it'll just sound terrible.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'll be honest with you. I was going to bring up, because obviously you mentioned surfing, and you are obviously friends with Des Fahara, but you have Sun Cult Clothing.
Yeah, it's a line he and his wife started, and they brought me in, and been helping with some creative consulting and stuff, coming up with some designs. Some of the designs we have, I designed.
Cool.
I designed the concept. The artist did the actual art. I'm not a visual artist except for with photography. I can barely draw a stick figure. But we'll be working on that as soon as everything gets back to normal. Yeah. But it's been a fun experience working with them, doing that and seeing some things that were up in my noodle come to fruition on actual T-shirts.
Yeah. No.
Looking forward to getting back to that.
No, that's what I was going to say. I was going to ask you what that was like, sort of having that sort of clothing line, because I like I said, when I spoke to Des before, it was like they were set up, and obviously he mentioned you as well.
I mean,
and I was just sort of curious because, like, having a clothing line, generally, I've sort of seen a few bands do it, but I was sort of not sure on the process of it. But if you're coming up with ideas, obviously, and that you've got an artist on board that sort of translates those ideas and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I'm visually, except for with photography, right? I'm a pretty good photographer. But with visual stuff, I still see things and think of concepts constantly. I have that mind. I just don't have the skill or talent to do it physically, and that's okay. Not everybody is supposed to be a visual artist. Not everybody is supposed to be the singer of a heavy metal band. Not everybody is supposed to, be a pro skateboarder. If that was the truth, I would have been a pro skateboarder when I was 15 years old, because that's what I was like, that's so cool, but I wasn't good enough, So I think a smart person, if they have concepts, will communicate those concepts to people who are good enough to make them into a reality,
Yeah. And I know, how is Des's wife doing? Because I know she was diagnosed.
She's fine right now, man.
Yeah.
I've been texting with them. Yeah, she's doing fine. They're at home, the same as everybody else right now.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because I saw Des was posting up quite a lot, and then it kind of went quiet, and I just wanted to sort of see if everything was all right.
She's doing well.
Yeah, excellent.
She's doing well.
It's good to hear. So I've got a couple of questions left for you, Randy, and then I can let you get on with the rest of your day, if that's all right.
Right on.
So this one's kind of it's always a big question, this one, but what are your 3 top albums that kind of shaped you to the sort of person, stroke musician that you are today?
Nevermind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols.
Nice.
That was the first one because that's the first album I heard that really turned me on to the fact that there was some sort of music outside of pop music. I lived in a little tiny redneck town. All we had was on the radio, and then this kid gave me a tape with Nevermind the Bollocks on it, and I listened to it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is saying something,
yeah.
It's saying something real. So that's really the album that really kicked it off for me. Cool. I would have to say, Eye Against Eye by Bad Brains. Cool. That really sort of showed me, I don't know, nuance and musicianship in underground music. It's an immaculate record. And a third album, I mean, it's sort of a combination of EPs that was on one album. It was Initium and Unholy Passion by Sam Hain, which was Danzig's band after the Misfits. And that just showed me sort of the darker side of underground music. Yeah. It came out in 86, I think. It was way ahead of its time. So those are my 3. Cool. So that really shaped the way I am.
It's quite a sort of like more punk rock feel to what you're doing at the moment. Is that your?
Well, I don't come from the metal scene. I don't listen to heavy metal.
Fair enough.
Punk rock. I'm a punk rock guy, dude. I'm a punk rock guy in a metal band, and when we started, that's all we played with punk rock bands, because the metal scene, as it exists in the States today, didn't exist then.
Yeah.
That was during the time of grunge. So only, there was like Slayer was still doing it.
Yeah.
Pantera was still doing it, but metal didn't really exist. So we, did some sort of metallic riffs, but with the punk rock sensibility. Yeah. That's where we come from, And
that's how I'm guessing, like, just from like just general, it's like how you got your kind of like there's a groove metal genre that people throw around, but that sort of generally does come out of like the punk hardcore scene generally.
It does.
So
100% it comes from that.
Yeah. That's really cool. Cause I mean, Sex Pistols, I grew up with them here. So it's that's a good, it's a solid punk album as they go.
Sir.
So
yes, sir.
But no, I'll check out the Sam. Is it Sam Payne? Did you say it was Sam Payne?
Sam Hain. SAMHAIN.
Sam Payne. Sorry, there we go.
Yeah.
I haven't checked that out before, so I'm gonna check that. I always write these down, so just in case there's anything I hadn't heard. But Bad Brains, yes, amazing. Great punk rock, band there. But yeah, no, I'll check out that Sam Hain one as well. Cool. So, you've already mentioned a few things for this last one, but you've probably already covered everything. But what are your hobbies away from music? I know you've covered photography,
surfing, photography, writing. I don't skateboard as much anymore because I tore my meniscus.
Oh.
I love reading.
Yeah.
I enjoy messing around with video some, just for fun, really making little surfing videos or funny home videos. I've just kind of been editing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I enjoy making music of all different sorts. I've done some electronic music.
Oh, really?
That was commissioned. Yeah, that was commissioned by the Richmond Ballet for 2 original ballets.
Oh, wow.
And maybe, I'll get that released one day when all this calms down.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, surfing is my main love.
Yeah.
So, it resets my soul,
Yes. And there's no chance you getting out and doing any right now then? Or you?
No, not with the beaches closed because of moronic spring breakers.
Yes, I saw that on the news.
I wanted to socially isolate in the fucking ocean, which is a perfect place for it, but I can't get there. So thanks, morons.
Cool.
Locals only. Fuck off.
Yeah. Have you got any reading recommendations? Like any books you're reading at the moment you really like, or ones you've read recently?
Yeah, I just read a book a little while ago I really like by a guy named Jaron Lanier, JaronLanier, called 12 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Account Now. And he's a really smart guy who's a bigwig in Silicon Valley. He also wrote a fantastic book called You Are Not a Gadget, and it's about how he's one of the people who made the internet what it is, right? And it's kind of about how it's gone wrong. Because when it started, it was just a bunch of like nerds, very few people could access it, and they were using it to freely exchange information in an altruistic manner. And then, corporations got a hold of it, and boom, here we are today.
Yep. Okay. Is it because I've been reading little bits and bobs about certain people, like how to kick your social media habit, which is something I've tried to do, and I'm in the process of doing. I use it for my sort of like this outlet. I don't use it so much for the personal side of thing anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't either.
It's like, it's not on my phone. It's not on my, it's on my computer here in front of me, but it's not on my phone when I'm out and about. Even though I work for a tech company, I don't have that sort of, like, stuff on there. But no, there was one thing, I don't know if it was this guy or not, but I read something, it really resonated with me. He said it was like every time you open up like one of the social media apps to see if you've got any likes or anything like that, it's the same sensation of pulling on a one-arm bandit, like a fruit machine.
Oh yeah, it's an endorphin hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is consciously designed.
Yeah,
at the social media. You should read that book.
No, I'm going to. I've written it down.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for books to read while we're in some downtime. So I've got a couple of like sci-fi novels that I'm going through at the moment. But cool. No, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Yeah, and you have a good rest of your day. All right. Thank you, Randy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.